The content of this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended as, nor should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice.
Sweaty and pissed. Menopause makes me sweaty and pissed.
Okay, hey everybody. Welcome to Sweaty and Pissed, Menopause and More. I'm Leanne Morgan.
And I'm Karen Nickell, nurse practitioner. Leanne, what are you these days? Are you still a comedian?
I'm still a comedian. I'm not doing live. I'm not doing live shows, but I am I have a fan base that's growing. I want to thank everybody for that. I have over 1 million followers now on Facebook. That has happened since I talked to you last, Karen.
Wow. That's
yes,
crazy.
I know. I'm very excited over that. And so people keep saying when this mean COVID's over, they're going to come out to a show. I mean, we don't know when that is, but we just have to be hopeful that, with the vaccine and treatments and all that everything will be all right. I am thinking we're trying to decide if I should do, a lot of comedians are out doing drive-in shows at drive-in movie theaters. I've been offered that, but there's a lot of complications with that, like weather and getting cars in and getting cars out. It's a big logistical thing. And so I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. And then there's smaller venues. My big panty tour was going to be in larger theaters, and we can't do that. And so a lot of acts now are going back into small clubs, and they're at 50% capacity, and they're, taking precautions. And so I'm just going to wait it out and see, if I feel like it's safe for people. We'll just have to see, I don't have to make a decision right now, but.
Right. Well, you'll have your fans all primed and ready to go when you're ready to hit the stage.
Well, they are good to me, and they stick with me, and I'm thankful for it. I've got good ones, and honey, I think they're all going through menopause, and I think not all of them, but if they're not, they know somebody who is,
and they will be at some point.
Yeah, and I think Forrest said that we've had wonderful a reaction to our merchandise that we've got now, Sweaty and Pissed, Menopause and More.
Yes.
So, everybody loves a good tote and a fanny pack and a t-shirt. I do.
Yes, we've already gotten some pretty funny comments from people about the merchandise. Like Kimberly said, "So fun. Are you going to add sweatpants? I'm doing my community a favor by not wearing leggings."
Well, I'm with her. I feel very goobly in my leggings. We should add sweatpants. And then I saw that some people said, "Are you going to put a big pair of panties in there?"
Yeah,
and we should. I think everybody's wanting to be comfortable in the big panties during the COVID.
Well, and we need to add pee-proof panties too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you put Sweaty and Pissed on a poise pad? But we were going to talk
not great
about,
advertisement though.
Yeah, I know. We need to be sponsored by Poise. If anybody knows Poise, tell them that we're looking. So we were going to talk about, you always ask me, how are you feeling? What is going on with you? And, there's always something. And I just, it's sleep. I know I'm not sleeping well. And I notice a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook, a lot of people talking about that. And there's a lot of advertisement for sleep supplements. And I know a long time ago, you said to me, melatonin by itself, Leanne, does just not really do it. You need to have GABA, L-theanine, valerian root, a combination of things. And, and I've talked about that on stage, Karen. So everybody across the United States has heard me talk about valerian root, GABA, L-theanine. But magnesium is another one. And, I was taking magnesium, and I wanted to talk to you about, there's different kinds of magnesium. And magnesium's really a nifty supplement that is very helpful to so many people. And there's for constipation, for sleep, and for like restless leg, and there's all kinds of benefits.
Migraines. It can help with migraines.
Yeah, so there's the one that I would need to take for sleep and reduce hot flashes and promote sleep and relaxes muscles is the chloride, right? Magnesium chloride.
Well, I guess it depends on obviously what works best for you. I often recommend magnesium glycinate just for absorbability.
Okay. So when
But
you
also,
go to when you order on Amazon or you go to a health food store,
mm-hmm.
you need to get, okay, so I see glycinate promotes sleep, eases digestion. You know, I need the digestion part. But I was trying a product. I'm not sold on it, but I'm not against it yet. Reprise, and I've told you about it. And
Mm-hmm.
it has 7 days of packets, individual packets that you take, day 1, day 2, day 3 to day 7. And every packet has 4 big pills in it, big capsules. And it has different Chinese herbs and supplements in it, in a combination so every night's different.
Oh.
So if you take it over time, it's supposed to it's supposed to even out, all the, well, I don't even know what you'd say. But it's reprise. And
So are you only supposed to, you're not just taking it for 7 days, right?
no, you
You're
take
just
it.
saying that the cycle starts over every 7 days.
Yes, the way it comes to you, it starts over every, you get like a month's worth, and it has in these little boxes, so you know that you're at day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then you start over again. But the whole thing behind it is that you have a different combo every night, and that you kind of, their thing is you really need to mix it up so that your body doesn't get used to one thing. I'm sure is one part of it.
So is it just trying to reset the wake sleep cycle, or is that their goal?
Yes, I know it's frustrating for a medical person to have to talk to somebody like me, because yes, I don't know, but I feel like that you got to give it about a month to really work. And I feel like every time that I'm there, then I go to my parents and I'm helping them. And I've told you, I'm so busy, even through the COVID, which is crazy, but I'm so busy with all this work I'm doing that then I get to their house and I think, did I bring my reprise, or did I bring Luna? Or I've got every kind of sleep thing that you can imagine. And I get off of it. I'm not consistent with things, even though I'm really doing better with I know I'm on my vitamin D. I'm on
Good.
it's my progesterone, my estrogen cream, all that you got me on. I'm doing well with all that. It's just my supplements for sleep. But I'm always looking for a good, like there's a brand I've used, Luna, that has a different, I don't know what it has in it, but like Valerian root, GABA, passion flower. Isn't that one of them that works really well?
Yeah, that's something, a combination thing like that is helpful. What, do you have trouble going to sleep or staying asleep?
Well, I think during the COVID, I have had both. And I used to not. I used to couldn't even stay awake. I'd go to bed at 9:30 and couldn't keep my eyes open. And now I have trouble going to sleep, and I have trouble staying asleep. Staying asleep is probably worse.
And does noise tend to keep you from sleeping if there's some noise in the house or
Yes, and
anything
so
like
I've
that?
started using a fan.
Okay, I was going to say some white noise can help.
Mm-hmm. And
And
I do, but Larry, let me tell you, Karen, I know I've read everything about turn all your, um, your devices
screens,
off
yeah.
and all that. But, I go to bed and he's playing some kind of solitaire on his phone, and that's blaring. And then I've got he's got the TV on and wants to watch the news or whatever. And then but I did get glasses that have blue light in them.
Mm-hmm.
Blue light. But anyway, we've got too many devices going on. And I know that I'll look one last time at my phone at the news, and I don't need to, because I can't do anything about a monsoon in
Mm-hmm.
on an Asian country. I can't do anything for those precious people but pray. So I don't really need to be reading this stuff right before I go to bed. Correct?
That would be a start for sure. But have you tried one of those sleep apps that where it sort of gets you out of your own head? Because so many people have trouble sleeping because they have mind racing when they go to bed at night or when they wake up in the middle of the night. So, there are these sleep apps that you just put your headphones in, and basically it's real calming music and someone reading something that is not very interesting and sort of monotone, and it just helps you go to sleep, back to sleep, and gets you out of your own mind.
Oh, no, I haven't.
So that might be a helpful addition to the regimen to try to help shut your mind off a little bit. Are you still having hot flashes and night sweats? Is that part of the problem?
Well, I'll tell you, last night I did, because I had a little wine. I had a little red wine, and as much as I love it, I'm going to have to get off of I mean, I don't drink it very often, but I can tell the biggest difference that I don't sleep well when I've had one glass of wine. I waller in the bed all night, and then I sweat. It makes me sweat. And so, but before that, no, not really. I mean, I've been doing
Okay,
okay.
good.
Now, a thermostat. I was at my little mom and daddy's, and they know that I get hot and I'm going through menopause, so they put the air on they've got a new unit, and let me tell you, you can hang meat in their house. And then you go to bed, and the temperature drops outside, so it cuts off, and I wake up and I am sweating, but I've got a fan at their house. But yeah, I mean, I'm not having night sweats though, but I get up and I'm
Okay.
hot, and it gets me awake, and then my mind starts thinking about, when's the
Mm-hmm.
COVID going to be over, and what work I've got to do, and it
Well,
worry about
that's
my
where
parents.
that's where that sleep app might be helpful for you. So just as soon as you wake up, put your earphones in, start playing the app, and
Oh, so you're saying in the middle of the night you can do it too?
yeah, yeah. So as soon as you wake up and you're going to just get into that mind racing mode, put your earphones in. You have the app on your phone, and start the app so that you don't get into this. Because once you start mind racing, it's hard to stop it. That
Yeah,
would help.
yeah. And I do feel like when I'm at my parents', they are in the country, and so I can't walk anywhere. It would be like walking on a highway with big tractors going by. And so for me to be able to get somewhere to that there's a track or a neighborhood, even, because I mean, I was raised in a rural area where there's nothing. They don't have amenities like that. They don't have parks. So for me to get somewhere to be able to walk, to exercise, I'd have to be gone from them for so long, and I'm there to help them. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to figure out something with that. And their Wi-Fi is so not great that, I have exercise videos that I could pull up and do, but they don't have the bandwidth.
Mm.
So, and they're in a small house that, I was raised in, and there's just not anywhere to do anything. And my little
Hmm.
daddy will say, "Go up to the cemetery and walk." Well, I don't have anything against the cemetery, but it's just like one little loop that's not even an eighth of a mile, and you got to do it over and over and over again. And I don't know. So I know that I don't sleep well because I'm not exercising while I'm there.
Mm-hmm. What about like? Have you ever used one of those little trampolines?
I have not, But I have been reading about those. They do a lot of nifty things, don't they?
Well, and they're small. You could stick that in a closet over there and pull it out and use it.
Okay, let's talk about the benefits of that because that helps with oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. There's things that jumping on a trampoline is really good. I guess weight bearing.
One is it'd be good for your core because you're constantly trying to keep balance. Anything that it forces you to try to keep your balance is really good core work.
But medically, aren't there things that helps with? Oh, y'all,
Well,
look at.
maybe just coordination and I don't know.
I didn't know if it was like a lymphatic system.
Oh, oh, well that would make sense. But I mean, something small like that might be helpful, or something you could do there.
That is a good idea.
Well, thank you.
It is, and I've read, and I cannot remember because I don't retain information, but okay. I got it up on my phone.
Yeah,
Lymphatic flow in the body
there you go.
increases detoxification and cleansing of the body. It says improves functioning of the immune system. Helps reduce cellulite. Oh, murder! I need
Oh,
that.
let's all get one.
Yeah, that's the same as clogging. Where I'm from, people clog. They don't have cellulite.
Well, and they're not very expensive, and some of them have those little handrails to help keep you balanced if you have trouble with that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good idea, Karen.
Yeah.
But I do think that when I exercise, of course, that helps me. And I also know that when I'm not eating well, that's, when I do Whole30 and I get, I go in the yeast die off, it's a couple of bad days. And then I start to notice that I sleep better. So I'm sure sugar and processed food is not good for sleep. And when I'm at my parents', what they want to eat is, my mom, has to have pureed food. And so everything that we make, is something that she can eat. And so I have had to
Mm-hmm.
turn to jello salads. That's why I got on that jello salad kick. It's because she cannot chew, like chicken. It's
Yeah.
terrible. She can eat like hamburger meat. When you think about what somebody that has to have pureed food, if you're trying to get protein in them, I mean, we give her a lot of avocado and for brain health, and we're trying to do all those, but it gets kind of, when they gave us a list of what she could eat, it was like casseroles, soups that are thickened. They have to put that thickening stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm there, it's just, I try to, when I pack a cooler to take to cook for her, it's just not the healthiest food because we have to get calories in her. And it has to be
Well,
something that she can chew.
right. I mean, so what you're doing for her is giving her food that's already partially broken down. So that takes the fiber out of the food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the list they gave us for her, I mean, it's really limited. And because she can't have, eh, like onions or rice or anything that could be stringy and so it's just a challenge, and it's just a season in my life, and I know that we'll get through it, but it's just stressful. And being a caregiver, and my little daddy has lost 50 pounds, and he's tiny, and you can tell that it's really taking a toll on him. And when I'm there 3 or 4 nights, it's like everything's out of whack because you're, constantly listening for her. We take care of all of her needs, bathroom needs, bathing. She can't walk. Um, so anyway, that all of that, and then you get the COVID, and you can't help but look at the news, and they tell you horrible things every day, all day long in a news cycle. It was fun to watch the news maybe at 6 o'clock when I was a child and go look at, but and they're on the moon. But now it's just all day long, and it's, I know they've got to get viewers, and so they say all this stuff that, really doesn't even pertain to us in the United States, and you want to know what's going on in the world, but at the same time, it's just looming. All of this is looming, and I feel like, maybe we should not watch that for a while.
Well, I mean, our media, American media, is fear based. That's what people, that's what attracts people. So, you'll hear the story that of something that never happens to anybody, or it's a 1 in a million chance that that will happen to you. And it makes you feel like everybody is, that's going to happen to everybody.
Yes, for example, the Hornets, the murdering Hornets. That was it was like what? And then nobody said anything else about the Hornets.
I
But
know
I
we have
have
not heard
two
one more
more
word about the Hornets.
do what?
We haven't heard one more word about the
Not
Hornets
one
after
more
the.
word. I know. I know. And my little mom and daddy sent there, and they're isolated and they can't go anywhere because of COVID. And so they sat and watched that all day long. And my mom would rather watch, she loves a good HGTV or a PBS or National Geographic. And I have to, my dad kind of just sits and watches that stuff, and we have to turn it over and to something she likes. And I've tried, my dad's kind of a warrior, and I'm just like, there's nothing we can do about this. Let's don't watch this all day long every day. But I know that before I go to bed, I really don't even need, you really don't need to look at Twitter. If anybody's looking at Twitter, you need to get off of Twitter, because that is the meanest bunch of goings on I have ever seen in my life, and it's getting worse and worse. And it used to be, a place where comedians would go, "Hey, I'll be at the Laugh Factory." Now it is, just a lot of fighting
Hmm.
and all that's not, I'm sure, not good for our brain before we
Yes,
lay down at night.
that's exactly right. And are you drinking much caffeine during the day?
No, my darling, I am not. I really try to limit that. I mean, I have a little coffee in the morning, but no, I'm really, if I do, it's before noon, or maybe at 1 or 2, but rarely.
So maybe instead of checking the news one last time, maybe read some poetry or something lovely and sip on some sleepy time tea.
I do have wonderful books that I have um, read during this time, and I'm going to read one about the American buffalo. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I don't have a lick of sense over a buffalo. And I have gone far and wide to see buffalo all over the United States. And I love a
Yeah.
good buffalo print. I'm art. I'm thinking about buying Ronnie Dunn, Brooks and Dunn is a photographer on the side. And they've got a house in, I think it's Aspen. Anyway, I was at their house for a thing, and he had this beautiful print of a buffalo he took in the snow. And I'm gonna buy one of them, Karen Nickell, and I'm gonna put it above my um, fireplace. I don't have a lick of sense over a buffalo.
Where
And
do you think that came from?
there's a lot of buffalo in close to where I was raised, in Land Between the Lakes in Kentucky. And well, I say Kentucky, I'm right on the Kentucky Tennessee border. It may have been near Paris, Tennessee, but all that's right there on the Kentucky border. And we used to go on a field trip in 6th grade in my little school. They would take us to Land Between the Lakes, and we got to stay at least one night. It might have been two. And, we were a bunch of country kids that never got to go anywhere. And they would let us see these buffalo. And I think I got fascinated with them then. And then, and my family would go, and ride through it's a state park, and the buffalo would stand in front of you and look at you and chew, and I was just fascinated. And then Chuck was courting me and so in love with me, Karen, when I was at UT, and he was obsessed with me. And I tell people he stalked me, and not in a criminal way, but he worshipped me. And would, if I see, we waited tables at the same restaurant, and if I said, "Oh, that new Bonnie Raitt CD sounds like a good one," he would have it at my doorstep the next day. And so, he's an overachiever and a hunter and a gatherer. And so that's how he wooed me. He wanted me to know that he could provide for me, and he has done that. But anyway, I was with my family in Ken Lake, and at this little resort, and with my grandparents, and Chuck drove all night after a shift at that restaurant to be with me. Got a speeding ticket, and was still in his outfit that we had to wear at Grady's, this place we waited tables. And he looked like death because he had driven all night, and I was like, "Let's go see the buffalo." And he had to go watch the buffalo with me. And my Uncle Raymond said, who was in his 80s, said, "You better hold on to him," because he drove all night, and now he's sitting here looking at these buffalo with you. So that's how
Well,
the love story between me and Chuck. Yeah, I know.
Well, that's really sweet.
Buffalo involved, but anyway, I got off on that tangent. But I do. I love them. I love a buffalo, a moose, a black bear. Of course, we're here in the Smoky Mountains. Do you love
Yeah.
a black bear, Karen?
Oh gosh, yes.
I do
Beautiful.
too.
I like them at a distance for sure.
I do too. And I
wouldn't
love
be
a
go
river
I
otter.
wouldn't be going running up to a bear like some people do in the Smokies.
Yes,
But
we don't do that. But I do love a river otter too. But anyway, I didn't mean to get off that. So I will start reading again before I go to bed. I will put this phone down. I'm not going to watch the news. I will watch it when I absolutely have to know something.
yeah.
But
Get a sleep app. I'll text you some ideas for sleep apps.
do you want to tell people now what they are?
Well, I mean, I would just have to look through them, but I mean, they're all a similar kind of thing, just like I said, calming music, and then someone speaking or reading at a very calm and meditative, monotone type voice, so that again, a lot of it's just about getting out of your head. Because if you're listening to someone, you're less likely to be thinking about things and getting your mind all worked up.
So, but I know that at the first of this, I was going, "Ooh, magnesium," but magnesium really helps to relax people, and it keeps you from your legs, the restless legs, and all that. So a magnesium.
Yeah, and if magnesium can help with constipation because it helps with bowel movements, but some people, they get diarrhea if they take too much magnesium. So I know that Life Extensions brand makes a magnesium that's a combination magnesium. I think it's 4 different types, like magnesium oxide, magnesium glycinate, magnesium chloride, like that. It has 4 different types of magnesium in it. So, and it helps prevent getting a side effect of diarrhea by having a mix of different types of magnesium.
Oh, and what is that brand again?
Life Extensions.
Wow.
I think it's just their magnesium, maybe Magnesium Plus, I think is the name, something like that. But if you looked at the ingredients, you would see that it has several different types of magnesium in it. So that might be a good thing.
Okay, and then how do you feel about, you see a lot of CBD oils that people use at night, and sometimes they have a little melatonin with them. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think CBD oil can really help with some people with sleep. I mean, I've had a lot of patients who've had success taking CBD oil at night or at bedtime to help with sleep. That would be could be a good add-on thing if you're already taking a combination sleep supplement and still struggling. Adding some CBD oil would could be helpful, either a cap or the oil itself. I mean, I know people use things like lavender diffusers, lavender oil in a diffuser at night.
Hmm.
Um,
And I've heard of people, taking a few drops and putting it in some coconut oil or almond oil and putting it on the bottom of your feet.
mm-hmm. So I think a lot of it is our sleep hygiene isn't very good. Like you were saying, listening to or watching the news or looking up the news on your phone right before you go to bed is not a good sleep hygiene move. You really have to prepare yourself for bed. I mean, some people can just fall in the bed and crash, but if you're not that person, then you need to have steps toward sleep that are healthy.
Like maybe a warm bath with
Warm
lavender.
bath. Yep.
And I think it's important to have a room cool. And that's Chuck Morgan has told everybody lately that he has never been cold in his life until I turned 50. And he doesn't fight me anymore on it. He's given up. I have told him, I go, I've got to keep that on 68. I've got to keep it on 68, Chuck. Or I mean, this is serious. And so now he just puts on big pajamas and he always has the covers pulled up under his chin, and he says his teeth are chattering. But anyway, I can't help it. And then I have a fan blowing, and I have a fan above me. But I do think that it's important to keep a cool room,
Mm-hmm.
and I do think that it's important to have all the lights turned off. Like, the laundry room might be on, but it might be going underneath the door a little bit. But you really need to have all dark, all blacked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dark is good, and certainly, I know everybody has a TV in their bedroom. We don't have a TV in our bedroom, but that's also not a good thing to fall asleep with the TV because it's not only the light, but just the chatter and stimulation. Yeah.
And I ordered, and I've not been able to I haven't found a duvet yet to put it in, but I ordered a duvet filler that Buffy that is supposed to be cooling.
Mm.
Yes, I'm desperate. So I,
Yeah.
I have been looking and doing. So I'm going to try that and see. And it was kind of pricey, but um, I thought, I really need to make it to where this bed's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are all swell ideas to help. You'll have to give us a report next time on how
Oh,
you're
I know, honey.
how well you're implementing those moves. So
Well, and I need to get off of the Jello salad, even though I'm not eating much of it. But when I'm at my parents, I do have to eat all this stuff that's but we don't puree our food, but it's close. Um, but I know at the beginning I was kind of in a fog, but you do like if when somebody takes a supplement that they buy, say at Amazon or at here in Knoxville, we've got Eddie's Health Shop that we love. But if you go to a place where you can get supplements, if you look for a sleep supplement, you have always told me. So I want you to tell people because I don't know how to say all this, but you need to have a supplement that's not just melatonin. It needs to have a combination of things in it. And that's what helps. Like some things are for relaxation, calming. So like you like GABA, L-theanine, valerian root, passion flower.
mm-hmm.
Are there other
And,
ones to
and
look
the
for?
melatonin will be in there. Sometimes 5-HTP will be in a sleep supplement like that. 5-HTP converts to serotonin. So those of you who are already on a serotonin med like Prozac or Paxil or Zoloft or Lexapro or Celexa, um, you don't want to get something that has 5-HTP because that would could be too much serotonin for you. But some sleep meds will have, or sleep supplements will have a 5-HTP in it, 5-hydroxytryptophan. Tryptophan is what's in turkey that makes Thanksgiving, makes everybody chill out after Thanksgiving. Everybody wants to lie down on the couch and take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
So 5-hydroxytryptophan is
Ooh.
a very calming ingredient in one of those sleep supplements.
Okay, and then will you tell people, like, if people are really having a hard time and they need to get kind of back in a rhythm, if you did have to prescribe somebody something, there are things out there that you could give somebody just temporarily to get them through
Mm-hmm.
a hard time.
Yeah, yeah, we have medications like Lunesta and Ambien, which most people know about those, that are controlled substances. They're not narcotics, but they are controlled substances. And controlled substances are controlled because they have abuse potential. So there is some abuse potential with those medications, and we know that Ambien, there's people can have the side effect of sleepwalking, so that can be problematic for some people. And then we have non-narcotic options that mostly are not narcotic, non-controlled options that are sort of usually older medications that we now use often for sleep, like doxepin, which is an old antidepressant. Things like amitriptyline or nortriptyline, those are the tricyclic antidepressants. We use trazodone. So there are several that we use that are not controlled substances. And then we have newer sleep meds like Belsomra, which interrupts the wake cycle to help you sleep. It is a controlled substance, but it is one of our newer sleep meds that we have. So, and a lot of it in terms of prescribing is looking at the safety and efficacy. When in our older patients, we want to be really careful about what sleep meds we give so that we don't increase fall risk. So there's a lot of factors involved in picking the right sleep med for people, but there are several options out there that we can use. So if you need a sleep medication that's a prescription, there's certainly something that could work for you. Might take some little trial and error, but there are a lot of options for sure.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So we're going to see how you do with getting a trampoline, getting your sleepy time tea.
I'm going to order me a little trampoline. I'm going to take it to my mom and daddy's. And, I've got my daughter that's living here now during the COVID, test. It's a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
She is, she got a Nordic track,
Mm-hmm.
the big treadmill. She wanted the Peloton, but they weren't delivering them, during the COVID. And it took her a couple of months to get this thing, but it's unbelievable. It's got a big screen on it, and you have trainers. And I tried to hike Mount Fuji. Let me tell you, it's a booger. But anyway, so we've got things we can do. It's so hot in East Tennessee that I try to get out and walk, but it's pretty muggy. So we've got indoor options while we're into COVID, because I did call my gym and to see what the restrictions are right now, and you have to wear a mask all the time. And I just don't know if I can do Zumba with the mask on. Of course I could work through it, but do I want to do it? I think I'd rather dance at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not hit the gym. I have not gone back to the gym so far. I'm going to wait on that one. So
yeah, I saw on the news, and look at me, but this was the local news, our little sweet WBR, but they were saying that 56% people say they're not going to renew their gym membership. And I thought, oh no.
I'm
And
keeping my membership. I'm just not going.
yeah, I'm
So,
keeping mine, but won't that be hard on gyms? You know, people
yeah.
they'll have to close.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, so
there
anyway,
on that happy note.
on that happy note,
But it's been good to talk about sleep during this time. And I'm hoping that uh, all this talk will help you and help our listeners. And we want to thank our listeners again for all their comments on Facebook and feedback, and remind everybody about our merchandise.
yes, we've got a mask that's got sweaty and pissed on it.
Yes,
Yeah, and that's pretty much
mask.
how everybody feels. But everything is going to be all right. We're going to get through this and get on the other
Yes,
side
sure
of
we
it.
are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
And I know that as you, as a sports fan, people won't believe that. Little Karen Nickell, honey, who is a brilliant nurse practitioner and opera singer, is a big sports fan. And so I know you're watching that all that stuff is coming back. NFL,
Mm-hmm.
NHL, Major
Mm-hmm.
League Baseball.
Yep.
I know you love college football.
Yeah, we had the Red Sox game on last night, so yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, all right,
Well,
my darling. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Forrest, our producer.
thank yes, thank you, our producer and songwriter, and thanks to Stephen Brown, our artwork designer. And I hope everybody can get some sleep tonight.
I know. I'm gonna do really well, and I'm gonna know what medications I'm taking instead of just saying, what is it? I don't know. Is it called? So I will study more until and we the next time we talk. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank
Okay.
you for listening.
Yes, stay well, be safe, and wear a mask.
Bye bye.
Sweaty